Welcome to the UEFA Champions League Matchday 2 review show right here on MRM Sports. Yes, Matchday 2 of Champions League is done and dusted. The groups are shaping out now. We had some weird results today, some shock of a result today. For example, Juventus losing to Benfica 1-2 at home. And we also got to see Haaland being Haaland, doing Haaland things against his former team, Borussia Dortmund. We got to see Napoli getting a result we all expected, really. We got to see PSG also getting a result we all expected, really. The front three of Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe all getting on the score sheet. And we got to see Chelsea doing Chelsea things, which is dropping points. The Potter party is off to an average start, let me put it that way. I don't want to say bad start, but yeah, it was an okay start, an average start. We were 1 point out of 6 points in 2 games, which is not quite impressive. We're at rock bottom of the group. Okay, before we dive into Chelsea problems, let me just give you a run through of the results of tonight's matches. It all kicked off with AC Milan versus Dinamo Zagreb. AC Milan home won that match 3-1. Shakhtar Donetsk versus Celtic, that was a 1-1 draw. Chelsea versus Salzburg, another 1-1 draw. FC Copenhagen is versus Sevilla, 0-0 draw. Juventus losing 1-2 to Benfica at home. Maccabi Haifa, I think it's Haifa, yes, losing 3-1 to PSG. Man City, not impressively, but then getting the job done against Borussia Dortmund. Rangers losing 3-0 to Dortmund. And Real Madrid doing what Real Madrid does best in a Champions League match, and that is gain all 3 points, win, and march on to the next match day. Let's jump right into it. The match that I was keeping an interesting eye on, which is Chelsea versus Salzburg. We had good possession, I won't lie. I was a bit puzzled though with Aspilicueta starting. Yes, he's our club captain, but then I think his time at Chelsea should be coming to an end now. It's long overdue. I think he should have left. I did understand at the time why Tuchel decided to give him another, I think a 2-year contract, or it's 1 year, I'm not sure anymore. But then I think for me personally, he was at fault for the goal we considered. Yes, it was argued that it should have been a foul on Kovacic, but then the goal was too soft for my liking. It was too soft. He hit his man in the box. Somehow he lost him. It was a soft goal to concede, very soft goal to concede. And on Chelsea, again, yes, we did create some few chances, but then we are not creating like a top four team. We are nowhere near creating chances like a Manchester City or an Arsenal for that matter. I think this is something that Graham Potter has to quickly try and solve. It was interesting that when it was 1-1 and we're trying to chase to trying to get the winning goal for the match, basically, we started creating more chances. And you tend to wonder, with the natural striker in Aubameyang right on the pitch, we didn't create those clear-cut chances we were creating later on the match. It's something, I think it's a trend with Chelsea, really. Something I used to see when Lukaku was there. As soon as we sub him, we start creating chances, balls start flying in. But then when he's there, when you've recognized number 9 on the team, we don't create those chances. We hesitate to cross in the ball. It's something that we have to look at. And I think for the goal we conceded, we were quite light in midfield. They just cut through us easy like that. We were quite light on the midfield. It's something I think we all know Chelsea was supposed to get midfielders. It's an area that was overlooked in the transfer market. And unfortunately, I think more for unfortunately, something that we're going to have to deal with till the World Cup, until the January transfer window. So I'm hoping Graham Potter will coach the guys. At least today I did see some passion from the players. Although some made a fairly average game. Yes, Sterling got the goal, but then I don't think it was his best match ever. Aubameyang, I don't know if it's the mask, if it's the Batman mask, or he's just trying to get to understand the players he's playing with right now. Yeah, he had a quieter game. I don't think this is the best of Aubameyang. I'll give him some time to gel in the team. Hopefully, after the international break, we will see Aubameyang, who was at Arsenal when he first came to Arsenal, and at Barca when he went to Barca for those 6 months. I think he needs to start firing now. And again, Havertz as a 10-ish, I think was playing at a floating 10-ish position. I'm still not sold on Havertz. Although I forgot to mention this, it was quite nice to see the supporters on the 21st minute giving a round of applause for Tuchel, what he did, winning the Champions League in 2021. You know, when you look back at it now, it's kind of impressive seeing that Tuchel won the Champions League with the front three of Havertz, Werner, and Mount. That's quite impressive when you think about it. Against Manchester City, it's not the best front three you ever see winning a Champions League. Let's be honest, guys. It's not the front three that will terrify the defense, but then it did some magic. So it was quite to see the fans paying their dues, paying their respect to Tuchel. That was a nice touch. And hopefully now we can all get behind Graham Potter and support the team, wish the team to do well, and obviously we'll critique where we feel like we should critique. But then, like I said, I don't see why us players are starting in that position, unless if I miss some news and some of our defenders were injured. And it's amazing how a few seasons later, Kepa is still our goalkeeper. I think it's an area that we have to try and strengthen, definitely. We have to try and get better goalkeepers. I wouldn't mind having Mendy as a backup keeper because I think he's been off form and he needs that kind of competition. And unfortunately, I don't think Kepa is the kind of player to give Mendy that kind of competition you need from the back. So, yeah, let me not spend too much time on Chelsea. Chelsea were quite average. It's now tricky because next game week, we have, I think in October, yes, we have AC Milan. And it's a back-to-back, home and away. If we lose those matches, then I fear we're going to Manchester United and Arsenal in Europa League. That will be quite devastating. I can imagine the banter. I can imagine the banter from Manchester United. So yes, I hope Chelsea will get the 6 points against AC Milan. We definitely need to win those matches. Those 2 matches are crucial for us. We can't afford to fall down to Europa League. I'm sorry, but we can't afford. Graham Potter has to try and get to a semi-final or quarter-final of the Champions League, not Europa. Although I think we'd win Europa, but then I don't want us to play this Thursday, Sunday football. No. It's not us. That's Manchester United and Arsenal stuff. Definitely not us. Yeah, so hopefully we will get the 6 points after an international break. Right, let's jump into Manchester City versus Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, Pep's team is just Pep's team, man. I think now they got the final piece. Yes, it's now a cliche that Haaland is the final piece. But then the goal is scored. That's definitely why they brought in Haaland. Like, only Zlatan can score that goal. I don't think there's another goal who can score that. I don't see Messi scoring that goal. No, Ronaldo, no. Even Ronaldinho, the original R9. It's only that's a Zlatan-ish goal. Maybe even Lewandowski might score that goal, but then that's not even a chance. If most strikers would try and hit that ball, that's not even a chance. Yeah, that guy is something else. I think Holland, if you think about it, if you had to mix Zlatan and Lewandowski, you would get Holland. You know, Holland is that cold-blooded striker. He's definitely a cold-blooded striker. He doesn't care who he's playing against with. He needs to get his goal. Today he had the fewest touches by any Manchester City player, and he scored a goal. He scored the winning goal. That's quite impressive for a striker that young and someone who's known for scoring goals, and he's living up to the billing. I mean, he's no longer scoring just tap-ins now. He's scoring the difficult chances that City need him to finish off, which is quite impressive. It's also interesting that City went down versus Dortmund in this match. They didn't have a shot on target first half, and Dortmund really kept a nice shape. The goals that City scored were quite impressive goals. I mean, the strike from John Stones, that was just... It reminded me of, if you remember, seasons back when City was playing against Leicester, and Company thumped one from, I think, just outside of the box, and it flew right in. Yeah, that was... Okay, Company's goal was a bit better, but then you get the picture of John Stones' goal. It was an impressive goal. And like I said, Holland just scored a crazy goal. Please, if you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. Just a crazy goal. A cross from Cancelo with outside of the boat, and then he jumps in the end. Like it's a kung fu move basically, and he scores the winning goal. And interestingly, didn't celebrate. You know, he was respective, of course, of his former players and the supporters there. But City are looking good. Like I said in yesterday's video, I don't see City losing in the Premier League, and I think they might go all the way in the Champions League again. I think bare minimum for them is the final, and then anything happens there. That's a lotto. Anything can happen there, but then for them, bare minimum has to be the Champions League final. And you know, the squad and depth. Sorry, of City. It's just amazing. Ford and Bernardo Silva coming off the bench. I mean, those are game changers, and they do change the game for City. The tempo was up the beat, and you know, Pep has built a super team with a cyborg in front. I mean, there's nothing else we can do. Yes, KDB in the midfield, a cyborg in front in form of Haaland. We all have to play. I think in the league, I don't see them losing any match. I don't, unless if something weird happens or they get 10 injuries or so, but then they're just a cut above the rest. I'm sorry, they just are a cut above the rest. Haaland is going for fun. I don't see him having a dry spell where he goes 5 games without even scoring a goal. So that's quite scary. Let's move on to the next match. Let's talk Real Madrid. I mean, Real Madrid are Real Madrid. They give away chances, and you know, by this time now, if you watch football, if you follow football, especially Champions League football, even La Liga, you know with Real Madrid, they will give you chances. If you don't take them, you will pay. When you look at this team on paper, it looks like an average team, looks like a fairly average team, but then it's a great team. It's not the collection of stars, the Galacticos of old, but then it's an effective team now. Now they're effective team. They bury their chances. They scored 2 goals. What's the kid's name? I think one was Asensio, was scored in the injury time, and then the other goal was scored by Real Madrid goal was scored by Valverde. Both goals came in the last 10 minutes of the game, in the 80th minute and the 91st minute. So you see, Real Madrid, if you give them a chance to be in the match, they will get that goal. They will push. For me, I think again, they're a team not to be underestimated. They can easily retain this cup. Yes, the squad is fairly average-ish, but then they're not afraid of anyone. Champions League for them, that is their thing. That's what they do best. That's who they are. That's what defines Real Madrid. Forget La Liga. For winning La Liga for them is not a priority. Forget La Liga. Real Madrid are Champions League. Champions League is Real Madrid. For them, they can beat anyone. They can play any team and not be intimidated. They are such a dangerous side, and they have a seasoned coach in Carlo Ancelotti, who somehow, you know, you hardly see him shouting on the touchline, but then the players know what to do for him, and he expects the absolute best from his players. So it's a team to watch out. Definitely, Real Madrid is a team to watch out. And then PSG. PSG is like a Ferrari on with all due respect, it's like a Ferrari on cheap Chinese tires. Like not the strong, the cheap Chinese tires. Defensively, I don't see them as such a unit or the best defense in the world. But then going forward, you know, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, any of those 3 can hit any team. And they're so different in character, or even in personality, footballing wise. I mean, we all know what Messi can do. Mbappe is just doing Mbappe things at such a young age. He's so quick, he has that technical ability, he can break any defense. Then Neymar, when on his day, he can be that, okay, not Messi level, but then he has that samba, that Brazilian flair to him. And they can destroy any team. And I'm actually surprised it ended up 3-1 against Maccabi, because I thought it was going to be 5 or cricket score 6, 7, 8. I honestly thought they were going to destroy Maccabi. And Maccabi did get a goal first. And it was going to be a shocker if PSG had drawn or lost that match. It was going to be a shocker. But then you can't expect anything else from PSG other than a win. For them, I don't think it's more about getting out of the group. Yes, I think it's automatic that they will get out of the Champions League group. But then what they do, because last season they crumbled versus Real Madrid second leg, and then they were knocked out. So it's going to be interesting to see how far they can go, how the new coach will set them up in the knockout stages. Will they play on the counter, will they be a bit defensive, or they'll absolutely go for it and try to win the match. So PSG was PSG doing PSG things with the brilliant front three, which it is impressive, but then it will never be Neymar, Suarez, and Messi. So hopefully the old clique and all the beef which was reportedly there is now out of the door. And then we move on to Juventus versus Benfica. Juventus again being put in a spliff, being made a Rizla. I mean, I don't know what's going on in Juventus. They're just so average. They just fell off ever since Cristiano left. Even when Cristiano was there, when CR7 was there, they're just so average-ish now. They lost 2-1 to PSG. They've lost at home 2-1 to Benfica. They might fall to Europa. I'm sorry, but then Benfica need a positive result versus PSG. I can see Benfica getting a draw. If they get 2 draws and then they manage to beat Maccabi and Juventus again, Juventus might go down to, imagine Juventus playing Europa League football with the great Manchester United. It's going to be something else, man. But then I worry for Juventus. If there are any Juventus fans out there, Diabala is no longer the, I mean, it's just now an average team. They're no longer even the best team in Serie A for me. I think Inter, Milan, and AC Milan are a bit better than them. And Mourinho's Roma is climbing the ranks. Juventus are just falling off, and it's quite sad to see now. But then football does that to big teams. Look at Manchester United, look at Arsenal, Liverpool for the past 27 years or so. So yeah, football is not fair, but then stuff like that can happen. And then you move on to AC Milan. AC Milan were playing Dinamo Zagreb, the team that got Tuchel fired. I always use the statement, they got Tuchel fired. Dinamo Zagreb, I didn't expect them to beat AC Milan, of course, but then they did get a goal. Good for them. I think they all fall down to Europa between them and Salzburg. I think Chelsea will eventually bounce back. I have to believe Chelsea will bounce back. But then AC Milan, for me now, I worry if you're a Chelsea fan, because they have a good squad. They have a good squad, and they won Serie A last season. They won the Scudetto, so I wouldn't be surprised if they come to Stamford Bridge and even beat us. I mean, Potter has to sort out his defense and his midfield fast, and how he creates chances. Team has to work fast now and get his tactics on, because the time AC Milan comes, and if they get a win and then a draw, they're home dry. They will top the group if they do that. So they are a dangerous team for Chelsea going forward. And I think they are a unit right now. They've added players obviously in the transfer window, but they do play like a unit, and Chelsea are just disjointed. I'm sorry to bring up Chelsea into this conversation, but then I can't stop thinking AC Milan and Chelsea, and how a few years back we saw them one of our best defenders in Tomori, really, and now we have to spend loads and loads of money on defenders, and we're still conceding, and we're still starting as Splatter ahead of all the other defenders. Chelsea, my Chelsea. You know, it's quite a sad state to have Reece James as best player on the pitch, your creator from fullback. I mean, Liverpool do the trend, but then I don't want Chelsea to be that team where if they nullify the wing backs, we're done for. So Graham Potter has to try and make magic happen. I think in closing, matchday 2 has been quite interesting. We have seen some good games. Obviously, on Tuesday we saw some cracker results. Liverpool trying to win. We saw Spurs losing. I think, you know, this myth that British teams are the strongest. There are teams in Champions League which don't fear British teams, which don't fear teams from EPL. I mean, Real Madrid, I don't think PSG fears any team. Maybe at most they might fear Man City, but I don't see them fearing Liverpool. I don't see them fearing Chelsea. I don't see them fearing Spurs. And the fact that these teams like your Salzburgs, your Sporting can get results against Spurs, against Chelsea, it really shows your Napoli can beat Liverpool. It really shows that yes, EPL is competitive, but then it is the best in terms of entertainment, but then it doesn't necessarily mean they are the best footballing teams out there. I think they have the best in City, but then you can see City can lose to any team. E.g. Real Madrid, yes. So other than City, I don't think Liverpool will win the Champions League unless if they pick up form. I don't think Chelsea are capable of winning the Champions League this season around. I don't think Tottenham Hotspurs will go anywhere near winning the Champions League again, other than that final against Liverpool. So British teams will do good. I don't see any of them dropping to Europa League, but then at the same time I don't see an all English final this season around. I think City have a strong chance of going there. Real Madrid, you can never count them out. And for me, I think PSG will go to the final. That's my spoiler alert. Matchday 3, I can't wait for Matchday 3 of Champions League football. I mean, it's always fun to see these British teams mixed mainly with European teams, European powers, and how they play, how those teams are able to nullify the British teams. I mean, this is not EPL, baby. It's not only about physicality. More technical football usually wins in Champions League games. So it's quite interesting. I can't wait for Matchday 3 to see Chelsea play against AC Milan. That's the match I'm looking forward to the most. I really want to see how Chelsea will play against that game, and hopefully they will get a result. They will get the season up and running, because we've been pretty dull. Only 1 point from 6 matches. That's pretty. Like I said, man, I can't wait for Matchday 3. I think it'll be quite interesting. And as always, MRM Sports will be here to give you the review, and we'll try to also give you the preview of the matches this time around, to give you the updates on the injured players who are suspended, teams on form, and where the matches are being played, which team is home, which team is away. And of course, we will look at the results. I mean, at the end of the day, football is about results. It's a result-based sport, result-based business. Coaches lose their jobs because of results. So it's going to be interesting, man. But you know, I'm not a fan of group stages. I always like Champions League when it's now knockout stages, where I know that a lot is on the line. But of course, now it's good to see who will fall down and join Manchester United and Arsenal in Europa League football. I hope Tottenham Hotspur does fall down. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Like the video, subscribe and like the video. I'm your host, Ronald M, signing out. See you next time on the next video when we talk more football. Cheers.